Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream here at Quick Tech Solutions. Thank you all for being here, taking the time out to share tonight with me, celebrate tonight with me. Looks like we have a few of you here in the chat. We'll say hello to you guys shortly. I'm trying something new tonight with the audio, so as we get into the evening, you'll learn more about what it is I'm doing. That's part of what I do want to share with you tonight. So unless there's a major problem with the audio and the levels right now, we'll continue. If there is, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me or not. I do see the levels on the ATEM software control and on my multi-view, so I'm assuming everything is okay, but I'm doing things a little differently tonight, so go ahead and let me know. Okay, so let's go to the chat and we'll say hello to a few people here. We have 7 of you here so far. Hopefully more will pour in as the stream evolves. So we have David Grishko in the house. David, thank you for being here, and I appreciate the congrats on the 20K subscribers. Hopefully all of you that are here, grab yourself a cocktail. We will toast to the channel hitting that shortly. But yeah, and I am not drinking my normal Malbec wine tonight. It's summertime, and for the summertime, if you guys been following my summer streams, you'll know that for the summertime I switch from the red wine to vodka and cranberry juice. So that's my poison for this evening. And by the way, Joe, that cup holder that I ended up ordering has been a great addition to the studio. So thank you for that recommendation. Okay, so David, you're here. Thank you again for being here. We have Keith Bennett in the house. Keith says he's ready. And Keith, I almost gave you a text today to see if you had time for a quick call. I had a couple of questions about a new piece of equipment that I have, but I think I got things sorted out. But I knew if I needed you, I could have counted on you for sure. DJ Ware is in the house. DJ, thank you for being here. Good evening, and I thank you for the congratulations on the 20K. Appreciate that. And then I had posted this earlier, so we'll see what the comments say about the music level and the sound level. Welcome, Joe. Tech for Fun. Joe, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. It sounds good. Glad I'm able to make one of your mysterious streams. Yes. You never know when I'm going to go live. I do try to go live once a month, which I've been trying to keep to that schedule pretty regularly, except I don't announce them too much in advance because I never know what the availability is going to be. But tonight is a night that I had availability, so here I am to share maybe an hour and a half with you guys. We'll see. So David Grishko says 5x5. Thank you, David. I appreciate that very much. Joe says levels are good. TVJ, welcome. I'm happy to see you here. I wasn't expecting you, but glad you can make it. And Jay says, levels seem low to me and you are a little muffled. Okay, interesting. We can talk about that. Joe says all mids and lots of compression. Interesting. Okay, well, again, we will talk about that. And you'll see what's going on in a minute. Ashley, welcome to the stream. I hope you your talk this morning on the panel went well. I was rooting for you all the way 100%. And I'm sure you did just fine. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Yes, everyone, please go ahead and like the stream. And Jay says, I joined for a while, waiting for firmware to be uploaded via serial. Okay, so, well, I appreciate that, Jay, and we will continue on. You can please stay as long as you can, obviously. So, all right. So, again, welcome, everyone, from wherever you're tuning in from. I appreciate you all being here. Again, please grab a cocktail, and we will toast to this channel hitting 20,000 subscribers. We hit that earlier in the month, maybe about a week and a half ago. I think we're up to 20,104 subscribers now. Whatever it is, I never really expected to get 100 subscribers. So here we are at 20,000. So the next milestone, I guess, will be hopefully 25,000 if I make it that long. So anyway, cheers to all of you. Thank you for supporting the channel, for supporting me, watching my videos, putting up with my antics in my live streams. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. So cheers, not only to me, but to all of you. Okay, let's see what we got. Let's continue with the chat for a second. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the congratulations. Again, Jay, thank you for that. And Joe says, I'm glad you're still on YouTube now that you hit 20K. Yes, I'm still here for now, and I got a couple other things going that I'll be talking about in tonight's stream as well. Not so much, well, we'll get to that. Willie Howe is in the house. Willie, thank you for joining. Aye, to you as well, and hope all as well. It's been a long time since we've chatted, so thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And Willie says, congrats. Okay, so thank you guys, and let's get to, well, the reason my audio sounds different is because I am routing it differently. I got a new toy for the studio. Not only for the studio, but also for a recent project that has come to pass that I've been working on for the last 2 weeks or so. I will share that shortly, but I did get some new gear to also enhance the studio, but also to help me with this new project that I'm working on. So let me just bring up my phone and I will see if this SRT app can work for me tonight. I'm using an app on my cell phone called Stream to Studio. I tested this out not this past Monday, but 2 Mondays ago on TVJ's stream, and it seemed to work well when I was streaming to Jay over the internet. So I can see that it's working here. I'm just streaming to an internal encoder over Wi-Fi using SRT and the Stream to Studio app. So you can see there I have a laptop in front of me, and that is running H2R graphics. I do have my Stream Deck, my iPad with Mix Effect, and there's the new addition to the studio. I finally bit the bullet and went for the Rodecaster Pro 2. I had considered the Rodecaster Pro 1 a couple of years ago and then never pulled the trigger on it. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Got to switch to that camera. Yes. Thank you, TVJ. That's what happens when you don't do a live stream every week like the rest of you guys. Okay, so there's my laptop with H2R graphics. There's the Stream Deck. There's Mix Effect on the iPad. And there's the new addition to the studio. That's the Rodecaster Pro 2. And then I am running my audio now. I'm running this mic, the RE320, into the Rodecaster Pro now and directly into the A10 Mini Extreme. My old setup was the RE320 running into that silver unit in the rack there. That is an audio signal processing unit. That's the DBX 286S. I am no longer using that. At least I'm not using that right now in this stream. And I did hear a difference today. I was recording several clips using that device and several clips using this device. And I did hear a major difference. I'm not sure if it's for the better or for the worse. I always thought, because I'm not an audio engineer, I always thought that when I play and tweak the settings on the signal processor, the audio processor, that my audio was over processed. So I was kind of hoping that with this, that would help me out a little bit, because this kind of makes it super simple. But right now I'm just using the default settings on this for the RE. Actually has the RE20 as a preset in there, and I have the RE320, and I know they're not exactly the same, but I'm using the RE20 preset in the Rodecaster Pro right now. So I don't think I'm clipping. If anything, like TVJ said, I'm a little bit low. But let me just switch back. And thank you, TVJ, for sending me the private message that you couldn't see the cell phone camera. So yes, that did work. The SRT worked, the camera worked, the Stream to Studio app worked. Tony didn't work, right? Tony forgot to switch inputs and bring it up on the screen. So anyway, that's what's going on. So there's my new toy for the studio. In addition to that, I did buy a second RE320 and shock mount and rig off of Joe. Joe had one for sale, so I did pick that up, and I'll explain more why again as we get into the stream. I have a bunch of other things that I bought for this new project, which I will divulge in a second. I have a 50-foot fiber HDMI cable. I bought a 35-foot or 30-foot fiber HDMI cable to add to the setup. It's not unpacked yet, but it's a 25-foot right angle XLR cable for the second RE320. I bought the MX Pro in-ear studio in-ear buds, again, for this project that we're working on, and I bought an extension cable for that, so it makes it over from the person that will be wearing these over to the Rodecaster Pro 2. So that's some new gear that I have going in the studio. So let's go back to the chat because I see some comments based on what I showed you already. So David Horde, welcome to the chat, David. I appreciate you being here. You seem to come pretty regularly, and I appreciate that. And David says, you've helped me a lot with your tech videos. Thank you. Well, thank you, David. I appreciate that. That's all I try to do, is pretty much just help people and learn along the way as I go. Brian Coates. Brian, thank you for being here. Brian's in the house. Hey, all. He says hello to everybody and congratulates me on the 20,000 subs. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you being here. If you have guys who joined late, if you have a cocktail, we toasted earlier to the celebration. So cheers. Okay. Unky Joe's in the house. Unky Joe, thank you for being here, and thank you for the congrats on the 20,000. I appreciate that. Joe Trelly says, is Stream to Studio free? Never heard of it. Yes, it's 100% free, and I will add this, Joe. I like it better than the L.L.C app, and you and I have both used the L.L.C app in the past and did some testing with it and actually used it on a couple of live productions or live streams. And I kind of like the Stream to Studio app better. It's easier to configure. It's much more user-friendly, and it just seems to work. I haven't had a time where I've put it on and the decoder didn't pick it up, whereas with the L.L.C app, I did have a hard time every once in a while with the two handshaking. So far, so good with the Stream to Studio app. Yeah, I know that. Thank you. One of you guys, either you or Jay, text me. I saw the notification come up on the phone as I was holding it up. So thank you, guys. And Joe says, can you try removing all the effects on the Rodecaster Pro 2? Yeah, that's pretty simple. Hold on. So this is with effects on. And this is with effects off. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the Rodecaster Pro. This is audio coming through the Rodecaster Pro 2 with no effects. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the audio coming through the Rodecaster Pro with the effects. Also, I am concerned about the levels because I have the gain on the RE320 on the Rodecaster set to 64 dB. I have the slider up just past the unity marking. And then on the ATEM, I had to adjust my levels considerably. And I'm just want to make sure that I am not sending too much noise along the way. So can you guys let me know if you're hearing, aside from I don't have it all EQ'd properly, I'm just using the presets. Aside from that, can you tell me, is it clean? Do we have noise? Let me know what you're hearing. And Joe's saying the RE20 is a pretty significant different sound, so you might want to tweak manually. I'd adjust a bit of the compression, but that's it, and see how it sounds. Okay. Compression up or down, Joe? You're saying it sounded, I think you said it sounded too compressed before? Let me try dropping the compression down a little bit. Check 1 2, check 1 2. So I adjusted the threshold on the compression. Does it sound any different to you? Let me know. And this is what I was kind of hoping to do tonight. Part of the stream was have you guys help me get my levels, my audio levels to where they need to be. Because again, this is a completely new device to me and I'm getting used to it. Hey, James, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks again for the congrats on the 20K. Yes, TVJ, I noticed this earlier too when I was just doing my test recordings that the mic sounded louder with without the effects. No noise, clean, no clipping. Thank you, Joe. That's one of the most important things I was striving for because I got nervous when I saw the levels having to be up so high, not only on the Rodecaster, because the preset for the RE20, I think it had the preset gain to 54, and I ended up upping that to 65. And then, like I said, on the ATEM mixer, audio mixer, I had to add some gain to mic 1, and I also had to add some makeup gain to the main mix, the main bus output. So I figured with raising everything, the levels look good, but they're just higher than I'm used to visually seeing them, so I wasn't comfortable until I tried this. So I'm glad to hear that we have no noise and no clipping. Marty from the Netherlands, thank you so much for being here. Cheers. Appreciate you. Honestly, I heard almost no difference when you turn the effects off. Is there another layer of effects on? No, that's it. The button that turns the effects off turns everything off all in one shot. Compression lowered is better. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. And Joe says now he hears a little bit of noise now that he's listening. Let's see. Let me bring this down just a little bit. Let me know if I go too low. Test 1 2, testing 1 2. Test 1 2. Just adjusting some of all the levels. All right, check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. No, I'm not. I'm just adding. I'm not adding anything on mic 1 on the ATEM. That equalizer is off, everything's off, the compressor, everything's off on mic 1. I just have the output gain on the master. The, what do they call it? Hold on one second. The makeup gain. I just have that on so that I can make up for some of the levels on the Rodecaster and on mic 1. So, but no, I don't have any EQ or any dynamics or any compression or anything going on in the audio mixer in the ATEM. So anyway, so I lowered a couple of things. Did it drop dramatically? Can you let me know? Is it acceptable for a live stream? You can hear me okay? I do appreciate that. Well, I see what you're saying, Joe. Hold on. Right now, I have the only thing I have on in the master output is the limiter, and that is set to -3, and the makeup gain is at 5.34. Now, if I drop the makeup gain, you should hear a significant difference in the volume. So I'm dropping it down, and now this is with no makeup gain whatsoever. Again, the compressor and everything else is off in the ATEM. So I'm bringing it back up to 5 for now until I hear your response. Keith, feel free to jump in because you have used this combination of Rodecaster Pro and Rodecaster Pro 2 into the ATEM for years. So, I mean, I am definitely open for suggestions. Don't be shy. Joe says levels didn't drop dramatically. Little low, David says, but clear. Marty says the sound is nice. Yeah, so this is, hold on one second, Joe. Again, I was playing with this earlier. Let me turn up the mixer and lower the, so this is bringing the slider on the RE320. Now this is all the way up. This is the slider all the way up on the RE320. Again, if I go into the display, it shows I'm just on the threshold of the red. I'm in that acceptable green area. I don't want to clip, so let me now bring down the volume on mic 1, and let me bring down the makeup gain on the master. Okay, so this is the slider all the way up on the Rodecaster Pro 2, and this is the ATEM levels are where I normally would have had them with the DBX. So again, let me know what you think. And I'm sorry we're taking so much time to do this, but this is helpful for me. So I appreciate you guys, sticking in there with me. I will get to the other stuff and why I did this and all. So, and Marty's saying turn up. Okay, so we're going to go with this for now. I'm going to take another sip of my cocktail. And we are going to move on. Let me take this comment off the screen. So before I get to why I did this, I did come across a neat little thing. I don't know if Willie, you're still here or not. You might appreciate this. It's a simple little gadget, but it makes my life super, super simple when I'm out in the field installing. So anyway, there is a challenge every time I set up, when I do home network residential installs, I install a lot of U6 lights before Wi-Fi 6 came out, I was installing the UAP AC light, and now what I'm doing is I'm doing the U6 Pro as the main access point, and then supplemental access points throughout the house. I use the U6 light. And one of the challenges with the U6 light is the size of the mounting bracket. Unless you're just going to poke a hole and drop the wire through the ceiling and then just mount it using anchors, it's a bit challenging. That's a simple way to do it, but when we're dealing with new construction, we don't have that option when we pre-wire a house. So what we've been doing is we usually pre-wire the house, and then we leave the wire rolled up, tacked in the attic, and then once the house is finished, we go back in, we go up in the attic, we poke the wire through. But I've been trying to avoid us having to go back up into the attic because myself and my partner, we're both the same age. I'm 61, he's 62. And we're trying to, work smarter, not harder. And we're trying to eliminate having to be in the attic walking on rafters whenever we can. I mean, when we have to do it, we do it. But I figured there had to be a way. So I've been using, let me just switch cameras. I've been using just the regular single gang low voltage boxes when we pre-wire houses. And if any of you use these when you pre-wire, you know that the challenge with this is mounting the bracket for the UAP AC light or the U6 light. So, and what I mean by that is I have a bracket here for the U6 light, and you can see that if it attaches, one of the screw holes line up, then there's nothing else to attach the other side of the bracket to. It's very frustrating. So what I had been doing as a workaround was shoving a piece of wood underneath, like a piece of 1x3 across, and then drilling into the sheetrock to hold that piece in place so that I had something else to attach this hole here to. But now I said there's got to be a better way, because honestly, once the sheetrock is in and the insulation is in, trying to get the 1x3 up through the single gang bracket and then across and then hold it, put enough pressure on it to hold it in place so you can drill the screws through the side, like into the sheetrock and up into the wood, it is rather a pain in the you-know-what. So I was thinking about 3D printing some kind of like attachment or adapter. And then I thought, well, I'm not always the smartest guy in the world, so I'm sure there's people out there smarter than me that have already come up with something. So I went up on Etsy and I found this. And this is just a little adapter that basically, I'm going to show you how this works. It's genius. I wish I would have thought of it. And I definitely want to take the time to show you this because I was so excited when I saw this. Okay, so what happens is this goes underneath like this and screws in to the ubiquity bracket or the bottom of the U6 light bracket. Just like that. Trying to make sure it's as straight as you can. And then it lines up like this. I'm going to actually show you. I'm going to finish it and actually attach the access point. So just bear with me as I get this screwed in. We have 9 of you here and 9 likes. I'll accept that. Thank you very much. If you're here and you haven't said hello, please say hello in the comments and hit the like button if you're liking the stream. Hit the dislike button if you don't like the stream. Okay, let me get this screwed in. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so we got that in there. We got that in there. And now we have the bracket attached to the one gang box securely. Then you just obviously take the access point and click it into place, and voila. So now you have your access point securely connected to a one gang box without having to finagle and retrofit using wood. So I'm really excited about these things. I think they came in a pack of 5 for like, I don't know, $12. To me, that's worth it to be able to have a mounting solution for those smaller brackets for the U6 Lite. So anyway, I definitely wanted to share that. That was one thing I wanted to share with you, because I when I bought them, I thought they were just genius. And like I said, I wish I had thought of that. So anyway, let's see. Let's go back to the comments for a second and see what we got. Yeah, I noticed this earlier too today on my recordings, Joe. I may need your help. I may need you to get on a Zoom call with me and just use your audio knowledge, because that is your expertise, and help me get this thing tweaked properly. I hope it's not too annoying for this stream. If you want, I could switch back over to the DBX, but I was kind of hoping to try to use this and learn what's going on with it. Latest change is good. Good to proceed for now. Okay, cool. There isn't a lot of EQ. Is the EQ turned down? TVJ, honestly, I'm just using the presets. I did not get into the advanced settings. I can. I guess I could try. But I don't want to waste your whole night on this. But I'm appreciating the feedback. So let's see. We'll check one more thing. Okay, so it looks like the highs are all the way pretty high, actually. Let me adjust the highs just a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy. And I think TVJ said the mids were lower earlier. So let me just raise the mids just a tad. Okay, so I just tweaked the highs and the mids slightly. Let me know if you hear a difference. And David says the tweaking and adjusting is probably my favorite part of any streams, especially at TVJ. Yes. Listen, TVJ's stream did well that week. You know, that one that he said called major fail or not. Regardless, we had a good time, and it was a very entertaining stream, and he got lots of views on that stream. So, and to me, it's all about entertainment, right? And giving you guys something to do on your evenings, right? So anyway, I enjoyed that stream thoroughly. Even when he turns away, it's the same level. Someone is adding compression. Well, can you walk us through the signal chain? I did that before. So yeah, I could walk you through it one more time, I guess. So hold on one second. All right, let me get the app up. I will remember to switch cameras this time. Okay. So the RE320 is plugged into input number 2 on the actual Rodecaster Pro 2. Then I'm coming out the main mix out of the back into mic 1 on the ATEM Mini Extreme. I do have a inline noise compressor in line going into the ATEM, and then the mic is plugged into the noise compressor, and then the noise compressor into the ATEM. That's how it had always been, even with the DBX. I did try removing the inline noise suppressor, and I really didn't hear a difference. So from that standpoint, I don't know that it's doing much, but yeah. So that's the, if that's what you mean by the signal chain, that's it, unless I'm misunderstanding you. So, and Joe says the adapter is brilliant. Yeah, I knew you would like that. I knew you would like that. And yes, my screwdriver is old school, but it is a Klein tool. I have a whole set of Klein tool screwdrivers, all different sizes. So, anyway. Marty, I'm not sure what this means. So that adapter for the UAP, I wonder if you can use it for turret cams. I don't know. Possibly. This particular adapter was designed specifically for the UAP AC light and the UAP and the U6 light. So maybe there's one out there. David, welcome to the show. And you don't have to apologize for being tardy. I appreciate you being here, David. Thank you so much. Not too annoying for the stream. Better than 90% of YouTubers. LOL. I'm assuming you mean the audio. Marty says sound is now nice. I have to get a beverage. Refill just a couple of minutes. All right, David, take your time and come back. Joe says, waste our night. This is why we are here. Okay, Joe says, no, mids were too much, not enough highs. All right, let me go back in and reduce those mids again. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I agree, David. That was a really good stream. We're talking about the TVJ stream 2 weeks ago. David says, I only use old school tools. Where's the team? Well, David, if you're referring to my installation team, it's just me and one other guy, and he's getting ready to go on vacation tomorrow, so I know he's not in the stream. But if you mean the rest of the team, the YouTube clique, we're all here. Your video just glitched. Yeah, I still have to address that issue, Joe. And David's asking if we're aware of the issues that have been going on with Linus. Yep, we've been kind of talking about it in the last day or so. Interesting, isn't it? Gotcha. Okay, so anyway, so we're playing with the audio. I mean, we could go on to other things and play with the audio through the night as you guys are hearing things, and we can go from there. If you think it's still over compressed, I will lower the compressor even more. Let me know. And as far as the breadths, maybe I need to adjust the expander and the gate. So again, let me know what you think, and I will try it. This is what this is about. So anyway, if you guys are enjoying this stream, please go ahead and smash that like button. It is much appreciated. Okay, so let's go back to the why now. I showed you this equipment. I told you I bought another RE320. Sorry, Joe, I just got attention to your stream. But anyway, so why am I doing all this? So a buddy of mine that I ride with on a regular basis, he had a television show. He lived in Boston. He had a television talk show years ago on the local TV station in Boston. And he hasn't been doing anything with it since the show ended. And he's been wanting to get back into it. He was thinking about going to the local television channel here and seeing if they would be interested in doing a local weekly talk show. And we ride together, we shoot together, we do a lot together. And I said, hey, you know what? I have a whole studio upstairs. And one thing I've been wanting to do is get into doing more of the behind the scenes producing and engineering. So do you think you want to go that route and we could do something live on YouTube and then, see what happens? We're not decided. I think we're going to go live eventually in 2 weeks. I'm trying to weigh the odds of do it live versus record it, because I'm calling it a talk show. I don't really know if it's a podcast, a talk show. If it's live, it's really a live stream, that kind of thing. So in any event, that's the project I've been working on. I'm going to share with you in a flow chart that I worked on, because I had to think of a lot of different things to make this work, bringing in remote guests, how I was going to make that work. One of the reasons for the Rodecaster Pro was I needed a way to do mix minus in this studio. With the DBX 286S, that's just a single mic sound processing unit, and doesn't give me that option to do any kind of mix minus. So I needed that option of doing a mix minus, so I bought the Rodecaster Pro, also because I thought my own ability to adjust my audio, not being an audio engineer, wasn't as good as it could be. I was kind of hoping the Rodecaster Pro would solve that problem for me and give me the mix minus, and it's also now allowing me to move forward with producing my friend's podcast. So that said, that's what I've been working on. The show is called Schwartz, because his last name is Schwartz, Talking Sports. I created his YouTube channel already. We don't have any content up there yet, just in the preparatory stages, but we've been spreading the word. I think he's already got over 40 subscribers. He just started putting it out there yesterday, asking, friends and family to subscribe. So I'm going to ask you guys to do the same. If you're interested in sports, he's going to be talking about pro football, pro basketball, college basketball, some wrestling. Actually, it's going to be driven by the audience, hopefully, and whatever sports topic they want to talk about, that's what he's going to address. He is a sports encyclopedia, and the fact that he's got 3 years of being a sports talk show host, I'm super excited, and that's what I've been working on here in the studio, trying to figure out how to make all the technology work. I've been bouncing ideas off of Joe. Joe's been very helpful, and I thank him for that. He's been a wonderful mentor and friend, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the help. So anyway, that's what's going on. Let me see if I can just bring up. Give me 1 second. Okay, so again, there's no content on this, but let me just bring it up on the screen real quick, kind of give you a sneak preview. So there's so far what we got. We got the banner, we got the profile pic. He's got 43 subscribers. We're hoping to go live in the last week of August. I think we're targeting August 30th for the first talk show. So if you guys wouldn't mind helping me help him, if I drop a copy of his YouTube channel in there, if you're interested in sports, check it out and maybe give him a subscribe and test it out. If you don't like it, you could always unsubscribe. But I'm super excited about this, and yeah, we've got an 8-foot wide by 6-foot high backdrop that we had made up of that repeated step and repeat logo. And yeah, I've been working on some super source sets for the show and some lower thirds. So I've been super excited about it. But one of the things that I was, concerned about was working out all of the technology. So let me show you this. And I'm going to put it on screen without me being on camera so that you could see it as large as possible. And I'll try to walk through it. Actually, let me just go back to the chat real quick. And I'm sorry for the heavy breathing. I get it. We got to get this tweaked. Let's see. Where did I leave off? Bear with me. Linus. Okay, here we are. TVJ says, got to go. The 2-hour firmware upgrade is finally done. Good, Jay. Good luck with that. I know you were having a rough day today at work. So anyway, and then David's asking, 2-hour upgrade. Wow. Yeah, he had some issues going on at work. He texted me about earlier, not sure he was going to be able to make the stream. Jay says, I think you're still lacking some high end, but that is just me. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, we have 9 people here, 11 likes. Everybody probably hit. Audio is better now that you brought down the mids. Still over compressed. It's odd, though, because when you said it was off, I still heard it. All right, let me just bring down the compressor some more. Okay, I dropped the compressor some more. Let's see how that works. David says, I hope for 20K subs by the time I retire next year. I wish you well, David. I'm behind you. You know that. David Horde says, will you post a link for the adapter piece to connect the unified bracket to the single gang box? Yes, although it was on Etsy, David, and I would have to actually go back and look up because there were several different ones. I tell you what, I will go back, figure out which one it is, and post it, not in the chat, but in the show notes, like in the comments for this stream tomorrow. Once I find it, so if you come back sometime tomorrow to this stream and look at the comment section for the on-demand, I'll have the link in there for you. I'm excited for you to produce this podcast, Call It a Podcast. Yes, I'm super excited about it because I guess technically we can call it a podcast because we technically are going to record the audio in the Rodecaster Pro and then put it out there on the audio podcast platforms as well. So that's part of the plan. And I'll be reaching out to you, my friend, for advice. David says, I'm thinking of starting a second YouTube channel to cover some non-tech stuff I've been recording. Cool. So what you're seeing, Joe, is the only thing that's live is, well, I first off, I have the master output open, but on the multi-view, the only thing that's live is mic 1 and the master. That's it. Everything else is turned off. Here, I'll bring that up on the screen so you can see it. I'll put it up on the large screen so you can see. Here's the... So this is, so you can see I'm talking now. It's only mic 1 and the master. So there you go. Okay, and there's the link to the sports podcast. Again, guys, if you wouldn't mind going out, if you're into sports, subscribe to the channel. I think it's going to be good. I've seen him do his stick a little bit, and he's really talented, and he's, like I said, he's a sports dictionary. I think it's going to be a good show. He's got some really good connections because of that TV show he did. He knows former NFL players, college players. He knows, he has connections with all kinds of teams. He knows somebody from the old ECW wrestling circuit, actually is a good friend of his family. So he's got a lot of connections. There should be a lot of pretty cool conversations. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. David says, my ears are not that sensitive. Your sound is fine to me. Appreciate that. You do have EQ on in mic 1 in ATEM. No. No. Nope. I do not. Yes, it still shows the curve, but it's not on. That's 100% correct. It is on in, let me go back to that screen for a second. So it is on for mic 2, but I'm not using mic 2 right now. There's nothing plugged into it. This is for the Rode Wireless Go, and I do have it EQ'd for the Rode Wireless Go, but this is off. That's just, you see the difference in the color? This is blue and this is grayed out. So it does show the curve, but it's definitely off. And the neat thing about this Rodecaster is I no longer need to use the receiver. I just need to use the transmitter for the Rode Wireless Go. I no longer need to use the receiver plugged into mic 2. I could set one of the inputs on the Rodecaster to Rode Wireless Go, and I can communicate with the Rodecaster as the receiving unit. I haven't played with that. I'm just trying to get the main mic audio down because I got to figure this out before this show starts in 2 weeks. You know, for my YouTube channel, it is what it is, but I want to make sure that I get this sound tweaked for the sports show as much as possible. I have a hard time saying it without eating peanut butter. Oh my God, Joe, you crack me up. Why do I have my mic 1 set up as stereo? Only for my own purposes here in the studio, for listening, for playback. Otherwise, it just records and it only comes out of the one speaker. So that was my workaround for that. So I don't have it turned on. I just have it split, and it seems to come through left and right for me that way. So I don't know if that makes any kind of sense, but, you know, trial and error. So, okay, so let's see. Talked about the 20K subscribers. We showed you the Rodecaster Pro 2. We've been playing with the audio settings a bit. So aside from the sound needing tweaking, like compression and EQ and all that, level-wise, the level is acceptable. I showed you the neat little adapter for the for easily mounting the U6 light, which, my God, makes my life so much easier, because there's still, let me go back to that 1 second. I got to get my nifty release pin, my removal pin. Hold on 1 second. So my removal pin is a handy dandy safety pin. Okay, so there's still plenty of room at the bottom of the bracket. Let me switch cameras. So there's still plenty of room at the bottom of the bracket. You can see where I'm putting the screwdriver through on either side of the screw for the Cat 6 cable to come through and comfortably plug into the U6 light. So this, again, this is a great solution. I've been using it as of late, and it works super, super well. And yes, I will put the link to that adapter, not in the chat, because I have to go find it. I got to go look for it, and it's not easy to find, because one other time I tried to go back and reorder some, and I had a hard time finding it. So I will locate it and put it in the actual comments of the video, not in the chat. And that's what I was afraid of. Levels are a bit low overall on the phone, and yet I don't want to crank them up anymore because I don't want to introduce much more noise. But let me ask you this, Joe, because, again, this is your expertise. If I had to crank up the gain, should I crank up the gain for the mic on the Rodecaster, or should I crank up, hold on, should I crank up the gain here for mic 1? What would be your recommendation? I'm guessing you're going to say lower the gain here and raise it up on the Rodecaster. Let me know. Yes, when you lower compression, it also lowers the dB. Yep. Is the compression too low? Gain should be highest in the beginning of the signal chain. Okay, hold on. Check 1 2, check check. Check 1 2, check check. Check. Check 1 2, testing 1 2, check check check. It seems like I'm just hitting the red, and I have the slider just past the unity level on the Rodecaster Pro. I don't know if Keith's here because he's been pretty quiet, but I'd like to also get him to weigh in. David says, darn, I have to get my ears checked again. I guess you're not hearing much of a difference, huh, Dave? I feel your pain, my friend. All right, so can we go over the Rodecaster flowchart together? Here we go. So it might be a little hard to see, and I do apologize for that. That's why I'm not putting a super source on the screen, because I want you to see this as large as possible. But so I have this unit right here, the black long unit is the A10 Mini Extreme. This gray unit is the Rodecaster Pro, and then I'll talk about all the ins and the outs. And I think this will work to bring in 1 to 2 guests. So for those of you that have more experience in this area than I do, and I know there's a few of you out there, I am definitely welcoming and open to comments and suggestions. So I think we're going to be a 2-camera shoot. So I have the 2 cameras going into the ATEM inputs. I have the H2R laptop for the graphics going into the ATEM as well. Then I have a separate laptop for a Zoom guest going into the input, one of the 8 inputs on the ATEM. Here's my HyperDeck, and it's taking up 2 inputs for fill and key. And then the final input on my ATEM is being taken up by a Raspberry Pi, which I'm using to run Video Looper. So for that, I had to download and install a legacy version of Raspberry Pi software so that I can run the OMX player so that Video Looper would work. So the newer versions of the Raspberry Pi software no longer supports the OMX player, so I had to drop it back to a legacy version, but it works very well. So, oops. In fact, I could switch to that for a second, and this is the video looping on the Raspberry Pi on input number 8. So it's pretty cool, except that it only, I could only load, I think I could only, no, I shouldn't say that. I think if I load multiple video files, it will go through all of them in sequence. I haven't tested that, but right now I only have the 1 file on there. So those are the 8 inputs. And this laptop here would be dedicated for a second guest. We'll talk about the first guest in a second. So then, looking here, let's move over to the right a little bit. See if I can make this bigger for you. So we're going to have the RE320 going into the Rodecaster. And then I have the Rodecaster connected to my Mac Studio over here via USB. So that's going to bring the Zoom audio in, as well as return the mix minus audio return to the Zoom caller. So the caller, my Mac Studio will have the first guest, and then the laptop over here will have the second guest, and I'll be doing a USB mix minus for the Zoom caller. So then, coming out of the Rodecaster, we're going to take the main mix out of the Rodecaster like I'm doing now for this stream and bringing it into mic 1, input mic 1 on the Extreme. And then we are going to take the headphone out for the host for Les. We're going to take a mix minus. We're going to take a submix out of the headphone 1 and send it over to Les. And this is just a representation right here of those in-ear monitors that I bought. Recommendation from Joe Trelli. Thank you, Joe. So that's pretty much how I'm routing the audio. Now, let's talk about the video going back to the Zoom caller. I'm going to take the USB cable, which is already connected. I have it connected all the time from my Extreme over into, it's this cable here, into another USB port on the Mac Studio, and that will get the video feed, return feed back to the Zoom caller, and then we will do the USB mix minus from the Rodecaster for the audio return feed. Headphones out of the ATEM for me so that I can hear the entire mix, the main mix, everything that's going into the Rodecaster and coming into the ATEM Mini. Then I have the USB drive attached so that I can record it. Oops, sorry about that. Obviously, my network cable. And then I'm going to be using HDMI 1 for a multi-view for me. And then I'm going to be running HDMI 2. I'm going to be running the Zoom caller to a 40-inch display so that Les can see the Zoom caller. So I think that covers everything. I know for some of you, this is not a very complex setup, but for me, not so much on the video side, but on the audio side for me, never having mix minus in this studio before. Oops. Never having mix minus in the studio before and having to work with it. For me, it was a little bit of a challenge to understand the concept, first of all, and then figure it out here. So in this setup here, I'm going to have two mix minuses going on, one for the Zoom caller and one for the in-studio guest. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you and get your input on that, one good, bad, or indifferent. And I think, let me just go back here. Ooh, my count up timer says that we hit it a long time ago. We definitely hit the JAU 10 minutes ago. Up in the upper left-hand corner of the screen here, just above the mic arm for the first hour, there was a tiny little digital count-up timer. That was for my JAU counter. So, yay, we hit the JAU. Woot, woot, woot. Let's throw on some confetti. And let's bring in some applause. I don't have my headphones on, so I don't know if you heard that applause or not, to be honest with you. But in any event, let's go back to, let's take a sip of the cocktail and go back to the chat. All right. Bear with me so I could find out where I'm at in the chat. Okay, I think so. I can see your audio mixer on the ATEM. We covered that already. There's the link to the sports podcast. Let's go. I know I'm just past that. Let's see. Check 1 2 check. No, Joe, that is mic 1 in the multi-view. The one you're seeing in the multi-view, the first one, second one to the left. That is the. Actually, hold on one second. What is that? Where is that? Before I misspeak. Check 1 2 check. Yeah, in the multi-view, that is. It looks like there's something on, but there's not. That is weird. So it looks like cam 2 mic is on, but it's really not. Huh. When I look at the actual mixer here, you can see that cam 2 here is off, but yet when you look at it in the multi-view, if you could see it behind me that small, it looks like it's on, but it's not. Interesting. Weird. Okay, back to, yeah, sad about the OMX player. It's depreciated now, yep. But it still works with the legacy version, so I was happy about that. Joe says, is this the adapter? So let's take a look. Let me click on that. Well, by Joe, I think you've got it. Yes, sir. That is the adapter. Thank you so much, Joe. I don't know if it's the same seller that sold it to me, but that is definitely the same concept. So yeah, it's already in the chat. Thank you, Joe Celli. So there you go, David Horde. Appreciate that, Joe. Saved me the time. Very cool. Thank you, David. This is the kind of feedback I'm looking for. So, again, I don't know if I'm going to keep Let me just bump this up a little bit overall and see how that hits you. And then as far as the lows, mids, and highs, I think I'm going to have to do a call with my buddy and have a professional help me tweak it. And that's a pro with some hearing loss. Yeah, same here. That's a non-pro with some hearing loss. Same here. Love it. All right. So no comments on the flow chart. Interesting. Does that mean I got it right? You guys won't hurt my feelings. Don't worry. All right. So let's see. I got some gear in that I'm going to be doing videos on soon. Jeremy Likes not here, but Jeremy would be happy to see this one. So this is, I just want to share some gear with you that I got, and then talk about some items that I'm thinking about selling. So if anybody knows anybody, help me spread the word. So this is a wireless barcode scanner, and I mentioned Jeremy because Jeremy works in the library full-time for his IT job. That's his daytime gig, and it's a Bluetooth scanner, a Wi-Fi scanner, and also a hardwired scanner. So you have three methods of connection. EYOYO is the brand, EYOYO. They sent this to me, asked me to do a review on it. I figured, what the heck, why not? I wish I had this when I was still working in the school system every summer when we had to do inventory after collecting all of the student and teacher laptops and iPads. Something like this would have come in super, super handy. But so, video will be coming on this. Let me put that back in the box. Then the other item I have, that again, video will be coming on. I haven't even opened the boxes on these yet. So this is the Grand Stream. I believe it's the 7701. Let me see. No, this is the 7703. So let me just zoom out a little bit. So this is the Grand Stream 7703. This is this the PoE version? Let me see. What did they send me? Okay, so this is the non-PoE version. It is a 24-port unmanaged switch. So this is their dumb switch. And there's really not a lot to it. It's got your 24 ports on the front, status lights, the branding, the venting on the sides. It's got the holes for rack ears. I believe it comes with the rack ears, even though, yep, it comes with the long rack ears so that you can actually mount it in a standard 19-inch rack. On the back, you got your power port, your Kensington lock, and your grounding cable. So a neat device. I guess if you just want to solely separate like a camera network or a guest network, you can just put this on its own VLAN off of another switch and completely segregate. So again, unmanaged switch, and I think price-wise they're pretty reasonable. I don't know exactly what the price is on it, but I will find out and post that in the show notes. Maybe I'll look it up. Let me do that real quick. So we'll go to VoIPsupply.com, and this is the Grand Stream That's the exact model. This is the GWN 7703. Yep, they have it. Oh, call for pricing. Okay. I don't think it's going to be all that expensive. I think Willie did a video recently on the 7701, and I think he said it was, I want to say $129 for the 7701. I'm not sure. Maybe less. I could be wrong. But anyway, video coming soon on that device. And then I got the Grand Stream GWN 7001 router, multi-WAN router. Super light, made out of plastic, venting around the sides and the back, power port reset button, USB port on the front, and your 6 ports. I believe this router, and again, I have not opened it other than just now. I haven't gone into it yet. I believe you could have up to 5 WAN ports configured on this router. So again, look for a video coming on that soon. I'm excited to do that. I also am going to be doing a video on a Grand Stream site-to-site with a Grand Stream 7052 and 7062 routers. I have it set up here in the lab. I've been testing it using an Edge Router X to simulate the internet. And I got it working here in the lab with the simulated internet. I'm probably going to reach out to Jason over at Jason's lab because he's got the same 2 units, and maybe we'll do a site-to-site live or in a video collab just to actually do it, not in a simulated lab situation. So that's the new stuff coming. Let me go back to the comments real quick. And Joe's telling David his ears still work. Can't get the compression, but I can get the applause. Did Lisa's shirt fit? Yes, and she's very excited about it, and thank you for doing that. David says, I want to get one of those scanners to keep track of my parts and component stock. I have almost no idea what I have on my shelves right now. Yeah, same here, David. I got so much crap laying around in the studio here, back in the closet, under the rack, everywhere. I have an idea for the barcode scanner video. Scan each of the dogs as they come into the inventory. Oh my God, Joe. How do you come up with this stuff? I like that switch doesn't have a brick, has the IC. Yes. Hello, Allie. Need video for a router? Okay. Any router in particular? Even when you are 6 feet away moving the boxes, the volume is the same. That is weird. All right, I'm going to turn everything off again. Because that is really strange. I'm turning off all the processing now. All right, all the processing is completely off. Hold on 1 second. Now everything is completely off. No processing, nothing. 0. This is the straight RE320 into the Rodecaster, into the ATEM Mini. The old router, I'm assuming you're talking about the original GWN 7000, which is a few years old now. And David says, I like this better. David said, I heard compression too through the video, even though it was off. That is really, really strange. I'm at a loss, guys. I'm not sure where the compression is coming from. Like I said, it's back your chair up and talk. Back your chair up and talk. Beep, beep, beep. Test 1 2. Check, check 1 2. Check, 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 check 1 2. Check, check 1 2. Ali asks, also, is tail scale safe? I've used zero tier, Ali. I haven't used tail scale. They're very, very similar. I've had no problems with zero tier over the years. Think David Grishko, you use tail scale? Yep, I could see. Yep, David commented. David says tail scale is amazing. And if David says tail scale is amazing, Ali, then tail scale is safe. Again, zero tier and tail scale are very, very similar. And David says, sounds good to me. Can you do a video about tail scale? I could put that in my things to do for sure. There is still compression somewhere. Methinks even when you fact up, it's only a few dB quieter. I love tail. Joe says he loves tail scale as well. So there you go, Ali. I hope that answers your question. Okay, cool. All right. So how long have we been on for? We have been on for an hour and 26 minutes. Okay, so I got a couple of things I'm going to sell, or I'd like to sell. So let me share them with you. I have a brand new, never been opened, out of the box UAP ACLR. This is the Wi-Fi 5 long range. I believe when I bought it, it was last year, it was around $149. I just looked up the price on UI. It's $109 now on UI's website. But it's out of stock on UI's website. So the first, if you know anybody who needs anything like this, the first $75 can have it. It's new, brand new, never been opened, still in the box. $75, buyer pays shipping. Reach out to me via email, tony@quicktechsolutions.com. I'll put that in the chat real quick. Okay, the other item I have is virtually brand new. It is the AT Audio-Technica 4040. Comes with it's a condenser microphone, comes with the shock mount. I believe I paid at the time $350 for it. Now, we look it up on Amazon, I've seen it for $339, which I think for the age is still a high price for it new. It's in mint condition. It's never left the studio. As you see this RE320 hanging here, the AT4040 hung here. It's in mint condition, and I could let it go for $150. It's a good deal. It's in mint condition. And again, $339, $150. If you know anybody that can use a good quality condenser mic, it's a good deal. And last but not least, I have a brand new, it has been out of the box though, but it is brand new. I literally set it up, configured it, thought I was going to make it my daily driver, and decided not to. I have a Grand Stream GW 3350 video phone. Let me just go to VoIPsupply.com real quick. This is the phone I have. $329, 16 SIP lines. It's a nice phone. I bought it. I wanted to make it my daily driver. I was supposed to do a video with Willie on it, and that just never came to pass. And it's just been sitting in the box, and I don't need it. I have 6 other IP phones throughout the house, including the wireless WP820. So if you know anybody, I'm not looking for $329. $175 can have it. Again, it's literally was taken out of the box, sat in the studio desk for about 3 weeks, and then I put it back in the box. So in any event, I think that pretty much covers everything. Let's go back to the comments one more time. Let me take a sip of my cocktail. Let me remind you guys to hit the like button if you're enjoying the stream. We have 10 of you here right now, 14 likes, so I'm happy about that. And let's go back to the comments. Okay. Just finding my spot. Bear with me. So David's just responding to Ali. It says, to the question, is tail scale safe? And I guess that risk tolerance, it all depends what your own risk tolerance is I think what David's getting at here. It depends how much you trust the company to handle your keys. They have some security write-ups. I use it for site-to-site and remote devices. You can use head scale if you want control. I don't know that I'm going to go for 2 JAUs tonight, David, but I had a good time. I'm enjoying being here with all of you, celebrating the milestone for the channel, and looking forward to getting that sports podcast off the ground in the next 2 weeks. Got to figure out this mic issue first, though. So, Mr. Trelli, I'm going to need you. Okay. Yeah, that's odd. That is odd. Huh. Yeah, that's funny. There's my email address if anybody's interested, or you know anybody that's interested in the 3 items I have for sale. Again, what did I say? 75 for the brand new UAP. What did I say? 150 for the Audio Technica and 175 for the phone. So anyway, I think that's fair. I think those are fair prices. I thought about selling the DBX 286 sound processor now that I have the Rodecaster Pro, but I'm not 100% sure that I want to let that go yet. TBJ says he's back and the firmware upgrade failed. Oh no. Hate when that happens. Shoot. Sorry, Jay. Yep, guess you'll be back at it tomorrow. There you go. That cracks me up. Today's special buy. Yeah, what else you guys want? You want me to tour the studio with the phone and pick and choose what you want? Actually, just kidding. Video phones are great for those who don't use computers. Yes. My wife recently accused me of being a tech hoarder. Spell hoarder, Hoarder, I believe. I do worry that the State Department pays me a visit soon, considering the origin of some of my free stuff. I don't think you have anything to worry about, David. There is 100% compression still on. Maybe that's in the line box prior to the ATEM. You know what? I'll take it off. It's simple enough to take it off. If you're patient with me, I'll be right back. I will lower the volume. In fact, I will turn off the mic so you don't hear any popping and clicking. Okay, I'm back, and this is now without the inline noise suppressor. Let me know if you hear a difference. Oh my God, Joseph. Ali's from Australia. Thank you, Ali, for joining. Appreciate it. Do you hear the ice shaking? I told people I will do a dance on one of my upcoming videos when I hit 10K. I will pay you a super source just to see that, David. Your sound sounds fine to me, Tony. Ali says, Synology router security, can you do video? I think I have a video on that. I don't have the Synology router anymore, Ali. Synology asked me to send that back. So, but I do have several videos on that, and I believe I did one on the security, the parental controls, and another on the firewall. So go check my channel out. I believe the videos are out there. Joe. David says it sounds louder now without the noise suppressor. David Grishko says that might have been it. Interesting. All right, so let me put the processing back on. Well, let me hear a few more comments first. It's different now. Let's do the stand far away test. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But yes, louder. I hear noise now. Compression still seems to be there, but yes, louder. Okay. Well, if it's louder, let me drop the gain, because I raised the gain before from 64 dB to 68. So let me drop the gain back down to 64. And let me turn on the processing again. Okay, so this is with the processing back on and the gain dropped to 64 dB on the actual channel that the RE320 is plugged into. Add effects back on. I did, yep. I'm not a sound expert, but it seems fine. That sounds a lot better. Interesting. I wonder if it was the noise suppressor. But still, if I back away from the mic, you should hear a difference. Are you hearing a difference? Check, 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 check. 1, 2. When we spin around, check 1, 2. Test, test, test. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mic check 1, 2. Test, test, test. And as I get closer, it should get louder. you should hear a difference. If you're not hearing a difference, then something's wrong. Yes, yeah, that's the best it sounds so far tonight. Okay. But I could read in between the lines, and that means we still need to make it better. Thank you, David. And I appreciate that. But for my own channel, you know, I don't mind, but I want to make sure that I get it right for the sports show. Joe says he does hear a difference now in volume as you are far away. Okay, well, we're getting there. We're getting in the right direction. Jay says something is still off. Yeah, me. No, I know what you're saying. And David says, yes, as you back and turn away, it goes down. Okay, so that's good. Hey, Zach Ann, welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Have you been here all night? Did you just come in? Cheers. We're celebrating 20,000 subs and just being Thursday night and all of us being together and healthy. So, okay. Well, I think I covered everything. So you mean I don't have to do like Willie and say, hey, Joe, I can do it from here. I don't have to do it from here. Hey, Joe, this is for you. Anyway, listen, I covered everything I wanted to cover. There's 7 of you here. We have 14 likes. We celebrated 20,000 subs tonight. We went over, played with the Rodecaster Pro. I showed you my new edition, plus amongst a couple of other things. Talked about the podcast that I'm going to be working again on. The link is in the chat. The name of the show is going to be Schwartz Talking Sports, Professional and College Sports Talk weekly show, targeting for the start date of Wednesday, August 30th. We talked about that. We went over the wiring diagram, which I'm surprised nobody commented on, but okay. I'm taking that as a good thing. We talked about the U6 Lite adapter for mounting the U6 Lite. I believe the Nano, doesn't the Nano have the same size bracket as well? It'll probably work for the Nano as well, and the UAP AC Lite. That's going to make my life a heck of a lot easier. So we talked about that. Joe Charlie was nice enough to find the link and share it in the chat. I showed you the new GrandStream gear, and the videos will be coming. I showed you the wireless scanner. A video will be coming for that. And we talked about some gear that I will have up for sale. Again, if you're interested in any of that gear, my email is in the chat, reasonably priced. Help me get it off my hands. Looking would be very much appreciated. One last time through the chat, and then we will be saying sayonara until next month. Yes, my neighbor just came home, actually. No, I'm kidding. The wiring looked good after 2 cocktails. Of course, the wiring looked good. You referring to my little highlight video that I put out this past weekend, David? Ali, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, guys, on that note, I will stay in the chat a few minutes after we go off, just to answer any last chats that come in. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you for celebrating the milestone with me, and have a great weekend, everyone. And like I say at the end of every video, my name is Tony with Quick Tech Solutions. As always, please stay safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.